I'm Vito LaBella, and I'm running for Senate of the 26th District. In both of my previous campaigns, I made a commitment to civility. No personal attacks, just policy-based discussions. Now, that doesn't mean that my opponent and I can't criticize each other about policies or about specific actions that either of us have taken. In fact, I welcome those discussions, and I hope my opponent will agree to debate me on the issues that the people of District 26 care about. Today, and we're going to talk about the proper balance between religious freedoms and LGBTQ rights. If we approach this topic with respect and understanding, I believe we can find common ground. I supported the LGBTQ community since I was a theater geek at Severian High School. I lobbied elected officials to pass gay marriage in New York, and there is a video out there of a woman criticizing me because I advocated for the book Love is Love. I'm endorsed by the Log Cabin Republicans of New York, and I work with LGBTQ parents in my education advocacy. The teaching of acceptance starts in the earliest grades because kids are just beginning to interact with families that don't look like their own, including families with same-sex parents. It's vitally important that kids from all types of families feel accepted and not othered because their family might look different. Acceptance in all aspects of secular life, including public schools, doesn't have to conflict with protecting the rights of religious organizations and individuals to practice their sincerely held religious beliefs. In America, and especially in New York, freedom of religion, all religions, is something that we hold dear. Our Constitution guarantees it. And it's not just about attending church or temple or mosque. It's about religious individuals, including religious conservatives, being able to live out their beliefs in everything that they do, and to be able to discuss their concerns without being mocked or condescended to. Now, for many faith-based groups, this includes how they view marriage or gender expression or sexuality. Their beliefs are grounded in centuries of tradition and teaching, and these beliefs need to be respected, even if we might personally disagree with them. This can feel like a tricky balance. How do we protect the rights of religious organizations while also standing up for the LGBT community? Well, it's not about picking one side or the other. It's about making sure that both can coexist. Religious organizations have the right to practice their beliefs within their own communities. But outside of those religious spaces, LGBTQ individuals should be able to live their lives free from discrimination. It's all about recognizing and figuring out where those boundaries lie. Faith-based groups should be allowed to follow their values within their walls, but in public spaces, like businesses, government, and services, we have to stand against any form of discrimination. And for the most part, I think it's working out pretty well. It seems like when there is a conflict, it's not based upon who people are or what they look like, but rather behaviors and content in our public spaces which people feel are inappropriate. Specifically, I think the greatest conflict is in our public schools and libraries. Now, religious schools can teach conservative ideas, no problem, and private schools can teach progressive ones. But public schools, well, they have to play it right down the middle. This became an issue on the May 2024 Community Education Council meeting when one of the speakers, a female pastor of a Christian congregation right here in Sunset Park, had legitimate concerns about inappropriate content in the New York City public schools. In this case, it was a drag show that was performed at a school on Staten Island. I was there, and nothing she said was homo or transphobic. I watched as DOE officials looked on mockingly while she spoke and asked that her microphone be disabled. In spite of the fact that as recently as 2017, a DOE spokesman was quoted in the Daily News stating that drag shows aren't appropriate for schools. Why is this relevant? Well, in response to this woman and others exercising their rights to express concerns about inappropriate content, my opponent and the city councilman issued a joint statement accusing this religious leader of hate speech. Well, as a former New York City police lieutenant who often dealt with bias and hate crimes, I can assure you it was not. Over the last few years, religious Muslims, Jews, and Christians have all spoken to me to express their concerns about what they believe is inappropriate content in our schools and libraries. It was wrong of the councilman and the senator to use their official positions to vilify this woman and to criticize the CEC for following the law and allowing her to speak freely. I'm committed to protecting both religious freedoms and LGBTQ rights. We all want the same things: to be respected, to be free, and to live our lives without fear. As somebody who works with both religious communities and the LGBT community, I know that we can respect our differences without losing sight of the shared values that bring us together. It's not easy, but it's the right thing to do. I'm Vito LaBella, and I'm running for Senate in the 26th District.